Hey ladies and gentlemen, it seems that Elon Musk is going to appoint a different person as CEO of Twitter, but at the same time he keeps getting interviewed and they try to tell him, why do you tweet so much?
Even today, Elon, you tweeted this thing about George Soros. Well, I'm looking for it because I want to make. Even today, Elon, you tweeted this thing about George Soros. Well, I'm looking for it because I want to make sure I quote it properly. But I mean, you know what you wrote. But you basically.
I said it reminds me of Magneto. It's just like, calm down, people. This is not like made a federal case out of it.
You also you said he wants to erode the very fabric of civilization, and Soros hates humanity. Like when you do something like that, do you?
Yeah, I think that's true. That's my opinion.
Okay, but why share it? Why share it? Especially because why share it when people who buy Teslas?
Look at this face, man. I was like this. I was like, what do you mean? Why can't I have an opinion? They both are Jewish. I'm not sure if they practice Judaism.
Shalom, Jews.
Magneto is a mutant with mutant power. He was also Jewish, but he didn't practice the power. Officially, they're not the same. George Soros escaped it. Magneto went there, but that's a fictional story. But both of them have great power. One is magnetism, the other one has a lot of money. And they try to change the world and make it a better place. But the way they use their power, it seems to create more problems. So yes, there is similarity.
Why share it when people who buy Teslas may not agree with you? Advertisers on Twitter may not agree with you.
Who cares?
Why not just say, hey, I think this. You can tell me. We can talk about it over there. You can tell your friends. But why share it widely?
I mean, this is freedom of speech. I'm allowed to say what I want.
You absolutely are. But I'm trying to understand why you do, because you have to know it's got to.
And I like to understand why not. Why is it so important that whenever somebody helps me with their money, I need to speak only about the things because they're giving me money?
It puts you in the middle of the partisan divide in the country. It makes you a lightning rod for criticism. I mean, do you like that? People today saying he's an anti-Semite. I don't think you are.
No, I'm definitely not. I'm like a pro-Semite, if anything.
I believe that probably is the case.
Yes.
But why would you even introduce the idea then that would be the case?
I mean, look, we don't want to make this a George Soros interview.
No, God, no. I don't want to at all. But what I'm trying, even came up though in the annual meeting. I mean, do your tweets hurt the company? Are there Tesla owners who say, I don't agree with his political position and I know it because he shares so much of it? Or are there advertisers on Twitter that Linda Yaccarino will come and say, you got to stop, man.
Did you notice he is not blinking? And he's consistently looking the person in the eye. And normally, if you're a person on the spectrum, normally you don't do that. You only do that when you have a literal purpose about, yo, I need to be sure what the heck is happening and I have something ready to tell you after you speak, because it doesn't make any sense what you're doing.
I can't get these ads because of some of the things you tweet.
I love that he thinks so much. I love it.
I'm reminded of there's a scene in The Princess Bride. Great movie.
Great movie.
Where he confronts the person who killed his father. And he says, offer me money. Offer me power.
Ooh.
I don't care.
So you just don't care. You want to share what you have to say.
I'll say what I want to say, and if the consequence of that is losing money, so be it.
Based.
Okay.
I mean, if you think about it, it's beautiful in the way that it's not. Yes, I know a lot of you are telling me I'm writing his ad plan. I'm not writing his ad plan. I just like to talk. I'm a person that likes to talk. I like to fish any information, come with my stupid ID, compared with a great ID, and I love putting stuff. I like when people fact check stuff that I can pick and then fact check it on Google and fact check on myself and ask more people. I like that possibility. I like the idea that Twitter makes me feel that like I'm on a Facebook connected with the world. And the fact that it's so freedom of speech, I'm not in a bubble, and it's beautiful, and I enjoy it. I like the idea that I can find the content before the news tells me what I have to think about the content these days, because I want to have my own freaking opinion. And it's beautiful.
Everyone, from now on, our lives will be better. We'll be wealthy, our sons will become doctors, and we'll be in charge of charities so we don't have to contribute to them.
One flashpoint in this debate is Soros's funding of district attorneys in the United States who champion the so-called principle of restorative justice. This approach emphasizes the rehabilitation of offenders through reconciliation with victims and the broader community. Critics argue that such policies encourage a reluctance to charge or prosecute criminals, thereby potentially undermining societal safety, and the proof, as they say, is in the pudding. Soros's influence extends well beyond the borders of the United States. His philanthropic organization has funded numerous non-governmental organizations or NGOs in Europe and Asia, many of which advocate for open borders, mass immigration, and other so-called progressive initiatives. These efforts have drawn criticism and even led to bans on Soros's organizations in countries like Hungary and Russia, who view his influence as a threat to their national interests. This Twitter discourse took an intriguing turn when Brian Krasenstein, a liberal commentator, responded to Musk's initial comparison of George Soros to Magneto. Krasenstein argued that, like Magneto, Soros's experiences during the Holocaust shaped his depth and empathy. He defended Soros against criticism, positing that disagreement with Soros's political affiliations does not automatically render his intentions malevolent. Krasenstein's argument, while thought-provoking, seems to underscore the pervasive issue of our polarized discourse, where complex human intentions are often reduced to caricatures of good and evil. Nonetheless, Musk remained unswayed. He sharpened his critique of Soros, contending that the philanthropist's intentions were not just misguided, but actively harmful. Musk suggested that Soros's actions were driven by a desire to dismantle civilization itself, echoing Magneto's narrative arc where his traumatic experiences during the Holocaust fuel a deep-seated disdain for humanity. Musk's assertion is a strong one. Quote, "You assume they're good intentions. They are not." He wants to erode the very fabric of civilization. Soros hates humanity, he wrote.
CNBC is telling Elon Musk, the world's richest man, what's bad for business. Telling the truth is bad for business, Elon. Don't you know that? Why share your opinion, Elon? The Tesla shareholders, that's who you should care about, not freedom of speech. Who cares about the Bill of Rights? We have to pay the bills. George Soros bought the crime wave. It's true. He financed all of these radical DAs that are one of the key ingredients to the crime wave. Now, we don't know why Soros did that. Only Soros knows why he buys crime. And every day, another Soros prosecutor's in the news. 2 staffers this week just got that heck beat out of them with a metal bat. Some schizophrenic felon happened to be fresh off assaulting a cop, was out loose. A Soros DA let the guy escape. We can't talk about that because Soros is Jewish. So what if he's Jewish? You think if Soros was Presbyterian, we wouldn't criticize him? We'd probably criticize him more. People hold their tongues on Soros because anytime you say anything about the man, they call you an anti-Semite. And you know who's behind that? Soros is. Check this out. Washington Post says, quote, anti-Semitic tweets soared on Twitter after Musk took over, study finds. And who funded that study? Soros. What did the study consider? Anti-Semitic tweets? Tweets that criticize Soros. That's right.
But what we can't allow happen is the government to collude with private business and use them basically as their extension or their arm of censor. And Elon Musk exposed this only because he had $44 billion to buy a company and expose the inner workings of their collusion with government. Musk revealed that was happening at Twitter was that even if you were saying something true, if you said John Smith had a vaccine yesterday and died, and actually the report from the hospital says he died from a complication from a vaccine, they said even if it's true, they were obscuring or preventing that because the FBI, the government, didn't want to reveal unpleasant truths or inconvenient truths.
And to me, I prefer inconvenience truth. When my mom passed away, They just told me mommy died at 6 years old. I went to the funeral. I saw the body. I said goodbye to my mommy. That's it. Was it hard? It was hard in a way, but did I handle it way better than all the kids that I see right now that have experienced that? Because you have to enter your feelings and stay there? No, they're not handling it very well because they hide a lot of stuff. And I believe the truth, even if it's hard, is way more important. But I'm sure they're gonna be like, hey, no, but this is my version of freedom of speech. Well, like the video. Let's see who has the same opinion. And let me know in the comments.